Hey there, it's Steve from Serious Keto, and this is the inaugural video for my 2022 30-Day Challenge series. My intention is that 2022 is going to be my best year ever. I am going to absolutely dedicate myself to improving myself holistically, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, creatively. And to that end, I'm going to do a series of 30-day challenges. And I'm going to chronicle them in this video series, which will be weekly, probably released on Tuesdays. For the most part, these are going to be shorter videos where I can just give you an update on my progress, share any tips, tricks, pitfalls, lessons learned, etc. And then you, provided you want to join along, can also share your experiences down in the comments. So think of this as our little weekly get-together and update session. Now, if you've been watching my podcasts or other videos, you know that my first 30-day challenge, what I'm going to do for the month of January, is going to be giving up alcohol completely. So it's going to be a dry January. If you want to join in, you absolutely can. You can do that challenge, or if you want, you can do your own challenge. And actually, that may even be good because that may give us some ideas as to what we want to do in a subsequent month. Or maybe you can wind up being sort of the mentor to us if we take up the challenge that you took up before us. But I think ideally it would be great if you were to join me on my particular challenge. Now, at the end of each month, maybe week 3, I'll give you a list of a couple of potential challenges that I want to do. I've pretty much mapped out most of 2022, but not necessarily a specific order. So when we hit the 3rd week of any given month, I'll do a sort of informal poll and say, what do you want to do next month? And then we'll decide and go from there. The rules that I'm setting up for myself, and I'm not pushing my rules on you, but these are going to be my rules for the 30-day challenge. First off, I'm only going to do one at a time. The reason for this is I don't want to confound the results. I want to know after I've done something for 30 days, was it impactful? Is it worth continuing to do? Should this become a lifelong habit or behavior? So one at a time. Second, they need to be a challenge. I mean, it's called a 30-day challenge for a reason. It needs to require some sort of extra effort on my behalf. Back when I used to teach Lean Startup, one of the tests that we would do for whether a potential product was going to be good is, can you get a potential customer to give an exchange of value? So lots of times people say, oh yeah, that's great, I love that idea. And then you ask them to put their money where their mouth is by giving up something, whether it's a little bit of time, like to fill out a poll or a survey, or whether it's a little bit of money, for example, put down a down payment, but they need to give up something to truly show that they're interested and it's not just lip service. So we need something. We need a characteristic of each of these challenges that requires some sort of effort above and beyond what we would do in any normal day. Third, for each of these challenges, ideally I want them to be measurable. I want to be able to show a before and after difference. So whether that's weight or inches, waist circumference or something like that. It could be body fat percentage. It could be any number of biometric markers depending on if you've got the tools to do it. I've got the whole Withings suite of products. So I've got the Withings scale, which does body fat percentage and BMI and percent muscle and things like that. I've got the Withings blood pressure cuff, and I've got the Withings sleep mat. So these are all sort of biometric data that I can gather and I can share. I could also take before and after pictures, and if you feel like doing that, I know we can't post them on YouTube, but we could always post them out on Instagram or on Facebook and share them that way. So, but that's entirely up to you if you want to do that or not. I know that taking pictures of yourself can be kind of personal, especially when you're losing weight and you may be in various states of undress. I've kind of put myself out there on YouTube, so I'm willing to do that for some of these things. But as for those Withing products, if you're interested in any of those, and I'm not trying to push them on you, I like them. I've gotten a lot of value out of them. I will link to them down in the description below. I guess the only other thing that I would ask is, as we are sharing in the comments, that the purpose of this is to, like I said before, share tips, tricks, pitfalls, whatever, lessons learned, but also to be supportive of one another. because some of these things that we're going to do, I think especially the alcohol challenge, could be difficult for some of us. And being able to be supportive and not judgmental. I'm going to stomp down on judgment pretty hard. That's important to me. I want you all to know this is not going to be like an AA meeting in the comments either. And this is, no disrespect meant to Alcoholics Anonymous. I think it's very valuable for some people. I'm a different sort of cat, and it's not my thing. So the other thing that we can share is any sort of progress updates. I think that's going to be really exciting on a weekly basis. Now, I have been dry for 2 days, and I'm going to share right now a couple of quick stats with you, and they're not especially meaningful because we're only 2 days in. Being a former statistics guru, I recognize that some of the things that I share are borderline anecdotal until you have got enough data points, and I'll probably never have enough data points because I'm just a sample size of 1. But let me tell you what's happened in the last 2 days of no alcohol. I'm down 2.3 pounds already. Now, sure, maybe it's all water weight. Although when people say, oh, that's just water weight, I'm like, who cares? It's weight, and it's motivational. When you start something new and you see a sudden change, that feels pretty awesome. So 2.3 pounds. Now here's something fairly dramatic, and this could also be related to potentially carrying less water. But the day before I started this, my blood pressure was 151 over 103. Now, I've got some stress going on in my life. If you watched the most recent podcast, you know about my father-in-law, and that's creating some stress. It creates a bigger challenge, I think, for me in terms of not drinking. I think historically, maybe that would have been a big trigger for me, but we can't let obstacles get in our way. Life is not about figuring out ways around obstacles or stopping at obstacles. Life is about plowing through obstacles. John Lennon said, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. So there's that. I was at 151 over 103. I digress there. 151 over 103. 2 days later, 2 days dry, this morning, 127 over 89. And I measure at the same time every day just to be consistent. So that's a pretty exciting way to start this. And I hope as you start this, you get some similar exciting results that are going to be motivational for you. If nothing else, I hope coming back here on a weekly basis is motivational for you. So I hope that a number of people will join in. If you don't want to join in and you just want to watch and see the transformation, you're certainly welcome to do that. You're certainly welcome to comment. But for those of you who want to share, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to have our own little 30 days at a time, 30-day challenges throughout the month of 2022. And we're going to come out at the end of this year better than ever. I'm really excited. Thanks for watching.